Hello there everyone, and welcome to your weekly MTA plan work video for the Queens Subways and Long Island Railroad for the weekend of Friday, May 31st, 2019, and lasting until Monday, June 3rd, 2019. So officially the first service changes video for the month of June. With that being all said, let's get started with the Queens Subways first. And then, of course, we will get to the much anticipated segment of the Cherry Lane Bridge replacement work along the main line of the Long Island Railroad. What's up with the purple friend? Well, unfortunately, there's work on the 7. June 1st through the 2nd, 3:45 a.m. Saturday, 10 p.m. Sunday. Flushing Main Street bound 7 service will run express from Queensboro Plaza to Willets Point because of track maintenance. And I'll mention this right now. It's a little bit on topic with Willets Point. The Mets are not at home this weekend. They are playing the Diamondbacks. So it would kind of help if there was express service next weekend for some people, but thankfully, from what I can confirm, next week they'll be at home against the Rockies. So let's hope that there's no express service and the MTA doesn't screw the customers along the 7 line. What's up with the N? We gotta talk about a quick service change in Manhattan before we get to the Ditmars line. May 31st to June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Uptown N trains will skip 49th Street because of electrical improvements. June 1st through the 2nd, 3:45 a.m. Saturday, 10 p.m. Sunday. Astoria-bound N trains will skip Broadway along with 39th, 36th, and 30th Avenue because of station renewal. Partial M train service available this weekend. And this happened last weekend, so I'll recap what's going on around the M line like I did last weekend for Memorial Day. May 31st, beginning 10 p.m. on Friday. M service will end early between Forest Hills 71st Avenue and 4750th Street, Rockefeller Plaza because of signal modernization. Take the E or the R. For Queens, take the R. For Court Square 23rd Street, Lexington Avenue and 53rd Street, and 5th Avenue and 53rd Street, take the E. Transfer at 34th Street, Herald Square, or West 4th Street, Washington Square Park, E and M. May 31st to June 1st, 10 p.m. Friday to 1:30 a.m. Saturday. June 1st to the 2nd, 6 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Saturday to Monday. Special weekend M service will run between Middle Village, Metropolitan Avenue, and 4750th Street, Rockefeller Plaza, and via the F to and from Lexington Avenue and 63rd Street, and via the Q along the 2nd Avenue line to 96th Street. And again, we know why that's taking place, because of the L work. Let's take a look at the R. We're also going to have Uptown R trains affected with 49th Street. This will be taking place May 31st, 9:45 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. Friday, and June 1st and the 2nd, 6 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. The Electrical Improvement Project will have Uptown R trains skipping 49th Street. May 31st to June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Manhattan-bound R trains will run express from Forest Hills 71st Avenue to Queens Plaza because of track maintenance. So, I'm going to warn you right now, and I know people are going to be bummed out. If you can, I would suggest to take the Q60 bus if you need service to Woodhaven Boulevard to access Queens Center Mall this weekend. I also want to remind people that our trains do not run in Queens overnight. So, how about the E's? They're going to run local this weekend. May 31st through June 3rd, 10:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Jamaica bound east will skip Briarwood because of track replacement. May 31st through June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. to 5 a.m. Friday to Monday. Uptown East will skip Spring Street and 23rd Street because of station maintenance. May 31st through June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. You will also have Manhattan-bound E-trains running express from Forest Hill 71st Avenue to Queensboro Plaza. So again, I urge you, if you do not want to have to deal with local service and have a big headache coming from Forest Hills this weekend, and you absolutely need to get to Queens Center Mall, again, please take the Q60 bus. The Q60 will drop you off right in front of the Queens Center Mall. So you do have that option this weekend. And I can confirm Q60 does run on weekends. I also urge you to use bustime.mta.info or the transit app to track the Q60. Taking a look on the F, May 31st to June 3rd, 10:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Jamaica 179th Street bound F trains will skip Briarwood and Sutphin Boulevard because of track replacement. So I'll also suggest this right now. If you need service to those stations, I would recommend getting off of Kew Gardens Union Turnpike and taking the Q60 bus as well. And I know for a fact that you can walk over to Sutphin Boulevard from the Q60. It's a little bit of a hassle on Hillside Avenue, but it also could work out. It could work out in that way. That I know for a fact. This is a rare occurrence that we both have the A and C lines with the same work during the same weekend. May 31st through June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. to 5 a.m. Friday to Monday. Uptown A and C trains will skip Spring Street, 23rd Street, and 50th Street because of station maintenance. And once again, Uptown E trains will also skip Spring Street and 23rd Street. Now, the odd thing I don't understand about this was when I got this from the email, they had not mentioned to me that Uptown East were not going to skip 50th. So, I don't know how that's going to be impacted, but I can say this right now. If somehow the E train is skipping 50th Street, the good news is it's not that far out of the way, but you can access 50th Street from the E via 7th Avenue and 53rd Street. And I have walked it before, and that was because, I was like, it was a nice day outside. I wanted to walk to Ominous, and, by the way, there is another Ominous. It's on 50th by 8th, in case anybody's wondering. It's not a bad walk. Trust me. So if that happens, you know what to do. Take my word. But anyhow, back to the subject at hand. May 31st through June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Queensbound A and C's will skip Liberty, Van Schleyen, and Shepherd Avenue because of track maintenance. So, once again, rare oddity that this had to happen, but that's going to stink. So, I would recommend transferring at Euclid Avenue on the safe side, just as a precaution if you need to access those stations. Unfortunately, more J work. I'm not going to get into it again. It just, it's a headache. So I'll leave it for your screen right now. I'm not going to read it out loud because it's such a headache reading this every week. When are we ever going to have regular service on the J line coming back? Really? That's what I'm wondering. And by the way, I'm going to confirm this right now. I will be doing a summit at 111th Street J Station in October, because I know for a fact by September they are supposed to reopen the station. So I'm hoping in October or November I can get over there, because to access it from Kew Gardens is not really a big headache. You could just, for me, I could just take an eastbound E train, transfer at Southern Boulevard Archer, and then go that way. I could do it that way. Because, you know, I want to grab my breakfast before I get on board in the morning, so that could be a use. Kew Gardens. On the G train. This will also be affecting the F, by the way, and I'll bring this up in a second. May 31st through June 3rd, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday, Court Square bound G trains, along with Jamaica 179th Street bound F trains, will skip Fort Hamilton Parkway, 15th Street Prospect Park, and 4th Avenue 9th Street because of track maintenance. So with that out of the way, we will now move on to our Long Island Railroad plan work segment, which features the Cherry Lane Bridge replacement work, and we'll also read some press releases. Alright folks, even in Jamaica they have the announcement for the weekend work in Hall Place. So, now I'm going to try to take a look inside and try to see if I can find the new temporary PDF schedule change. Well, they have to have it in here. I mean, this is Jamaica. This is literally one of the main hubs of the railroad. Let's find out. All right, let's take a look and see if it's here. I don't see anything. Pretty sure I don't see anything. Yep. I don't see any temporary, here we go. Here it is. That's all they have. That's all they have for the call place work next this weekend. Unbelievable. I'm taking 2 for a novelty item, but yep, this is what they have here at Jamaica. They don't have they don't really have any much information other than the fact that, oh well, we know it's going to be here. So that was the footage I took at Jamaica back on Tuesday. I added that in the Huntington Summit video when I did my tour out there in Suffolk County back on Tuesday. I figured, you know what, it's not a long clip. I might as well show you all what I filmed at Jamaica on Tuesday before I hopped down the Q30 going home. And I did get a pamphlet. Well, I took 2 with me, but it was a souvenir item. You know, you don't see it every day. And I knew about this work. My fellow colleagues, Matt Camper, Jason Anthony Pinero, Andy Quinto, and Pine Power LI knew about this work as well. And of course, Passengers Help, the head of Passengers United, also knew about this work. So thanks to all my colleagues who were involved with this cause before I tried to give my viewpoint, and I especially gave into it last week when I was at Long Beach. But needless to say, we will now read the official information from MTA.info. And I'll quickly mention to my ex Laura, she had mentioned to me a week or 2 ago that she made sure to not work that weekend and avoid this headache where she works in Call Place, because trust me, if I had to work there and hear jackhammers and implosions and everything else, trust me, I would get a headache. So she should just be relieved. But I do feel bad for her other co-workers. I wish them luck on Saturday, because it's just going to be, a disaster. And all the other residents, try to get out of Call Place for the day if you can. Or, I don't know, try to sleep through it, because this is going to be a big headache. So anyhow, June 1st through June 2nd, there will be no service between Hicksville and Mineola due to the Cherry Lane Bridge installation project. The bridge will be replaced this weekend. The new bridge will not only be wide enough to support a 3rd track, but will also be raised more than a foot higher than the old bridge to 14 feet, reducing the potential for service disruptions due to bridge strikes by overheight trucks. All Ronkonkoma and Port Jefferson branch trains pass over this bridge daily, and its replacement requires significant service changes. Demolition of the old span and installation of the new and improved bridge will require a 48-hour suspension of the train service between Hicksville and Mineola. And I'm going to look for a video very quickly to show you what the work could look like, because they did this a couple years ago with Ellison Avenue in Westbury, and I remember that very well. And that I had to suspend service that weekend too. Customer advisory. You are strongly urged to avoid the Ronkonkoma and Port Jefferson branches once again, Saturday and Sunday, June 1st and June 2nd. You can use the Babylon, Hempstead, or Montauk branches to avoid delays that weekend. Please note that special weekend timetables will be in effect for all branches on those days. So you have a summary of weekend service changes, so we'll read them thoroughly. On Saturday and Sunday, westbound customers at stations Port Jefferson through Syosset will take trains to Hicksville, connect to a shuttle train from Hicksville to Babylon, then transfer to express trains from Babylon to Penn Station. These express trains will make limited stops between Babylon and Penn Station, including Jamaica, where customers then can transfer for service to Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn. Eastbound customers traveling from Syosset to Port Jefferson will board trains from Penn Station to Babylon, connect with a shuttle train to Hicksville, then board an eastbound Port Jefferson branch train. Trains between Hicksville and Port Jefferson will run every 2 hours instead of the usual 90-minute intervals. Service between Huntington and Hicksville will only operate once per hour instead of the usual 30-minute intervals. Call Place in Westbury, once again, no weekend train service. We recommend that Call Place in Westbury customers consider using the Mineola station, which has a modest fee, no parking permit required, in the Mineola Intermodal Center garage. Customers planning to use public transportation to reach Mineola may wish to consider using Bus. So once again, shame on MTA. Literally, the Queens Village Bus Depot could send out buses. They could send out the Orion 7s. But no, they don't want to do that. And they could also contact Casey Steingle, College Point, contact the other bus depots for other buses. They don't want to do that. And this is why, again, Long Island bus should have never left. This is one of those weekends where Long Island bus could have been handy. Really gets me irritated. At Mineola, train service available at hourly service intervals. So if you're going between Penn and Mineola, it will only be hourly. If you are at Hicksville, once again, if you're that desperate to try to take Nice Bus, you could attempt it, but it's going to be, remember, Nice Bus isn't a great service, so wouldn't recommend it that much. And you know what they're probably going to tell you? You could also take Taxi, Uber, or Lyft, which they're probably going to overcharge people this weekend. And I'm telling you right now, I'm glad I don't have to go out to Long Island this weekend, because I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can just stay in Queens this weekend, because I'm not in the mood to deal with the LIE. Everybody's going to try to go on their car this weekend, and the LIE is going to be jammed. So, if you're coming from Queens this weekend and you need to get out to Long Island, please pack additional travel time. If I am going to Long Island this weekend, I don't know yet. I'm going to tell my parents we have to leave early because we're not going to deal with traffic. Alright? I mean, it's going to be a headache. It is really annoying. Alright, Ronkonkoma, Saturday and Sunday. Westbound customers stations Ronkonkoma through Farmingdale will take trains to Hicksville, connect to a shuttle train from Hicksville to Babylon. So, looks like the Central Branch is going to be running this weekend. Wow. Okay. Didn't expect that coming. Okay, so most of the Central Branch customers will be able to get westbound service in Babylon. These express trains will make limited stops between Babylon and Penn Station, including Jamaica, but customers can also transfer for service to westbound for Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn. Eastbound customers traveling to stations Farmingdale through Ronkonkoma will board trains from Penn to Babylon, connecting with a shuttle train to Hicksville, then board an eastbound Ronkonkoma train. Bethpage. All service to and from Bethpage will be provided by the shuttle train between Babylon and Hicksville. And guess what? The Oyster Bay branch available every 2 hours because of this. And that's not good, because next weekend I might be taking the Oyster Bay branch to East Williston. I'm not going to say why I'm doing it, but if my parents can't take me, I really hope there's no work next weekend, because I need to use the Oyster Bay branch next week. Because there's no way I want to take Nice Bus. So anyhow, they have the schedules. I'm not going to go over them. Again, I'm going to urge you right now, and thankfully I know this by heart, most stations along the Babylon branch do not have parking fee requirements on weekends. So if you can get to a Babylon branch station this weekend, please consider that an option. I would strongly urge to avoid the main line. And again, if you're coming from Queens, if you need to go to the middle of the island for any weird reason, please pack an additional travel time and or suspend your travel until next weekend, if possible. Because you're not going to get anywhere. Trust me. You'll get there late, but it won't be worth it. And I want to criticize the MTA. Guess what? Hampstead. Problem. N27 doesn't run on weekends. But I can't confirm with you all, the M43 does run on weekends. I can prove it right here. I thought I had it. Ah, here we go. Wrong tab. Yeah, M43 does run on weekends, so I'll mention it right now that if you need service, it's Freeport. By any chance, M43 is available. Just going to let you know that right now. And I know the other bus routes they have mentioned, they do run on weekends. So N22, N24, let's just confirm with the 48, 49. I'm not too sure about that at the moment. Oh yeah, N48, 49 runs on weekends. Right, I've seen it on Front Street on weekends with my parents. So it does run on weekends. Sorry folks, I do want to apologize for that information. So if you need to access the Hempstead branch, you can do that on the N48, 49. Once again, if you're going direct to Atlantic Terminal, that's going to be very helpful. But if you do need to get to Penn, you're going to have to change at Jamaica. I'm going to mention that right now. Okay, this is funny. They have Sears listed? That's hilarious. That's kind of funny when you think about that. Because Sears has been closed for a year now. Okay, why would they have that there? Also want to mention N70, 71, 72, along with the N40 and 41 do run on weekends as well. Let's just confirm those bus routes as well. I'm just curious to give you the right information. Oh, folks, okay, so it's only N70, only N71, 72 runs. Okay, so it's not N70. They got their information wrong again. So it's N71 and 72 available on weekends. And folks, I'm going to confirm this right now. Okay, good. It does run on Sundays as well. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I hope that route runs on weekends. Because that's a major bus route that runs along Hempstead Turnpike. Also mention this right now, if you want to go the LIRR way, you can actually take the N4 and then walk on Archer Avenue to access the railroad. So you do have that as well from Jamaica. Now that we're done with that, we will get to this press release in a second, but let's just MTA info, Ellison Avenue. Let's see if we can find it. thought there was a video. Ah! Here we go. Yeah, they did this a long time ago. Back in 2017. So I just want to see if we can find that video. Oh, folks, I am so sorry about that. Whoa. Okay. Okay, that's not what I had in mind. Here we go. So let's just put this on pause for a second. So I'll give you an example of what the work could look like on Jerry Lane. So this was another bridge replacement project the Long Island Railroad did back in 2015. Yeah, so they were installing the bridge that weekend, and I just want to see how the implosion looked. If we can find it. Ah, here we go. Here we go. So here it is right here. This was back in 2015. So you see here, this is how they set up the implosion. So they put they put wood there, which was very smart. I'll give them credit. And I'll mention, I was passing by, of course, I passed by Call Place to get to Huntington on Tuesday, and they were already setting up for the work already on Tuesday. So again, Philip Banks' team is all over it, because I don't know how Noah... I mean, I will give Nowakowski credit, because Nowakowski was president during this time. So it took time, but they got it done. They got the bridge done, because it needed to be replaced. So again, this is how they set up the implosion, of course. So we'll try to fast forward to when the implosion happened. Alright, so this is where it happened. Let's see. Ah, okay, so what they did was they actually used that crane to get rid of it. So I don't know how that's gonna look when they're doing the work, but this might give us an idea of what could the work could look like this weekend. Gives you an idea, I guess, because, you know, you would assume, oh, well, you know, could that be what it looks like? Well, yeah. So now we'll take a look at Jerry Lane, and we'll take a look at it right now. So I don't know when this view is from. Okay, October of 2018. Here we go. So this is Jerry Lane, and you see here the current clearance is 1210. So what they want to do is they want to raise it to 14. So pretty much we now know that's going to be 14 feet, and I'm pretty happy about that. So I got to give them credit. They're finally paying attention. Now, one more point I want to make. Let's take a look at the other bridge on Ellison Avenue. So we'll take a look at it right now. Wow, this is beautiful. This was a recent image from 2018, and 3 years later, when it was done in 2015, no, 4 years later, right? This is still 3 years, but let's take a look and see if we can find an old image of the bridge from 2011. So we'll now take a look, and look at that, folks. Look how old this bridge was. Look how old it was. Let's do 2012, give you an idea. Wow, we can even go further back to 2009. Yeah, that is just incredible. That is just remarkable. So, again, I want to look at one more thing, because definitely Call Place is going to be a candidate for a summit. It's definitely in my book. If I have it as a goal in October of this year to do it along with 111th Street on the J line. No, that's actually going to be November. Right, November I have it in mind. Even back in 2011 it needed work. Wow. Remarkable. Wow, we can even go further back to 2007. Wow. This is all the way back in 2007, and it didn't even have that 12-foot-10 thing. I mean, you look how back we've moved along, especially moving on to June 2009. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, Even in 2009, you didn't have it. And they first had the 1210 clearance signed back in 2011. So, it took that long for the MTA or DOT to put that there. So, lastly, we'll move on. We have a Newsday article, and I want to read you off from Alfonso Castillo from Newsday. Thanks to him for giving this information out back on Wednesday. So, Philip Eng apologizes for post-derailment service disruption. Thankfully, there were no injuries in the accident that took place back on May 25th, but the resulting damage caused the Long Island Railroad to suspend service to the South Fork during much of Memorial Day weekend. So, here are some workers that were repairing the tracks near Spionk over the weekend. So, Philip Eng had to apologize to customers for the holiday weekend service disruption stemming from Saturday's double train derailment in Spionk, vying to aggressively investigate the accident. President Eng's statement comes 3 days after a Montauk-bound train sideswiped another train that was pulled over in a sidetrack in Spionk, causing the diesel locomotive from each train to come off the tracks. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported in the accident that took place on Saturday, May 25th, but the resulting damage caused the Long Island Railroad to suspend service to the South Fork during much of Memorial Day weekend, one of the most busiest travel weekends to the Hamptons. Philip Eng, in a statement Tuesday evening, said, "We are aggressively investigating this and will apply any lessons learned to prevent a repeat occurrence. We apologize to the customers who were inconvenienced by this and thank everybody for their patience." Spokesman Aaron Donovan said that the Long Island Railroad is consulting with the Federal Railroad Administration and the New York State Passenger Transportation Safety Board in the investigation and will present its findings as soon as it can. Donovan said round-the-clock repair effort required re-railing the two derailed locomotives, clearing them from the area, rebuilding a destroyed track switch, repairing extensive damage to two other switches, repairing and replacing damaged signal components, and reconstructing hundreds of feet of track that were heavily damaged under the weight of the derailed engines. Long Island Railroad restored service to Montauk by Monday morning, which was on May 27th. The work of repairing the damage, restoring service, and assisting customers required a team of 100 employees at any given time working at various sites and stations over the holiday weekend. And I'll mention this very well. There was actually my conductor who was on the westbound 156 train on Tuesday that left Huntington. I will mention that I overheard him speaking to another passenger, and apparently this passenger was a lady who knew most of the Long Island Railroad crew, which probably she's a regular. And the conductor had mentioned that his colleagues were all over the place over the weekend figuring out what was going on, and it was, a big headache. And he said, we've never had chaos before like this on the Montauk branch. And, I could tell he was very familiar with diesel equipment. So, obviously, because again, I was on a DE train going back to Jamaica on Tuesday. So, that's why I'm mentioning that, because it was a relevant conversation that, everybody was running without their heads on, literally. President Eng also said, "Given the extent of the damage, that we were able to restore service as quickly as we did is a testament of the hard work of our employees who took action and immediately and worked throughout the holiday weekend." Donovan confirmed that many of the employees were working unapproved overtime. So, another component, once again, needs to go out to Metro North President Catherine Rinaldi for also having her staff from Metro North contribute to the repair effort. She deserves some credit as well. So thanks to her. I'm going to thank her again, as well as Philip Eng. We don't really need to look at the overtime thing. It's controversial. But, yeah. Very happy Philip Eng spoke about it. Took him a couple days because it was a holiday weekend, but if you're a guy like Alfonso Castillo and you have your connections, you're gonna get you're going to get important information out to the public. So, once again, thanks to Alfonso Castillo for getting a hold of Philip Bang and giving his reaction to what happened with Montauk last weekend. And again, thank you to everybody who has given me positive comments for me and Matt Camper's coverage during the incident. It meant a lot to us, and that's why we're here. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it all up. That will conclude this week's service changes video. So thank you all for watching, and until the next one, please take care.